Well, hello and welcome to the June episode of On Deck with Avoya. I'm your host, Chris Green, Director of Network Expansion. So glad to have you aboard with us today. It's been a little bit of rough seas for the travel industry in parts of 2025, but I see smoother seas ahead and certainly a fantastic summer travel season. So we're certainly excited about that. We've got a great show lined up for you today, no doubt about it. Diana Rahm, the Vice President of Sales for Windstar Cruises, one of the most iconic brands at sea, is going to join us for an Executive Insider segment. We're talking marketing and artificial intelligence. Are you using that in your agency? We'll get Andy Craig's thoughts. Andy, the Vice President of Marketing for Avoya Travel. We debut a brand new segment today from the Avoya Travel Academy and Gina Hoyt. And of course, we're going to spotlight a fantastic affiliate in the Avoya Travel Network. At the end of the day, we hope you're inspired, at least to, reach out to avoyanetwork.com and do some research and see if maybe your dreams of being in the travel industry match up with the resources offered by Avoya Travel. Tell your story, ask some great questions, see if it's a fit, and if so, you could be part of the #1 host agency in leisure travel, and that's Avoya Travel. So again, sit back and relax. We've got a great On Deck with Avoya coming up for you right here in just a moment. So welcome back to the June episode of On Deck with Avoya. I'm your host, Chris Green, Director of Network Expansion, and I absolutely love this segment because I love when we get a chance to feature some of the top executives in the travel industry, and this month is no doubt. Please help me welcome in our featured Executive Insider guest this month for On Deck with Avoya, Vice President of Sales for Windstar Cruises, Diana Rahm. Diana, thank you so much for your time, and welcome to On Deck with Avoya.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Actually, I'm so excited to be on as well. As you know, Avoya is very special to Windstar Cruises. We have a long history, and I'm really happy to be here talking about it with you.
Fantastic. Before we get too far into our chat, maybe you can let our viewers know a little bit about your background in the travel business and how you got involved in the travel business to begin with and what led you to your current position with Windstar.
Perfect. Well, I don't know if you read my bio recently that we put out on Windstar social media, but I actually started my sales career selling worms. So I know a lot of people, that's a natural thing you do when you're, 10 years old, right? You go dig up worms and you sell them. But my parents always instilled in me that, you could be anything that you want. And my path led me into sales. So I started there, and then I worked for our family business where we sold and made maple syrup. So, I'm a small town girl from Vermont. But then after college, I decided to move in with 7 of my girlfriends in a place in Vermont. We're like, yeah, we can't do this in Vermont. We had 1 car, 1 bed, 7 people. So we spun a dial, we moved to Florida, and I started my career in the hotel business. And that's how I started. I don't think I started in the traditional way. I never had a thought for it. In fact, I wanted to be in fashion. As you know, I only wear black, so I don't think I'm very fashionable, but I definitely have been in travel a long time. But with Windstar, I have actually been with a company that manages Windstar, Xanterra, for over 25 years now. So I am a veteran when it comes to that. I've been in the cruise industry for 10 years, but prior to that, I was in the hotel industry with Xanterra for 15. I will not mention my hotel experience prior to that because it ages me, but that's where I'm going to stop. 25 years.
The whole story sounds like a fantastic, almost sitcom-like story. You know what I mean? The 7 of you and spinning the dial, you end up in Florida, and the rest is history. What a fantastic story that is.
Yeah, I could have been in the Army, so I consider myself grateful.
Absolutely. We talked a little bit, or you mentioned about the special relationship that Windstar had with Avoya Travel, and excited that one of the affiliates in the Avoya Network was recently recognized by Windstar um, for their sales. Maybe you can touch on that for just a second.
So those of you, I'm announcing today on this call that we had a sales program for Travel Advisor Appreciation Month in the month of May. And it just so happens that Andrew Wells won the award. And I have to tell you, I was so excited when he won. And not because, well, one, Andrew Wells, he's a definite supporter of Windstar Cruises and he's with Avoya. But guess what I found out? So I'm thinking, he won a cruise for two to Tahiti with air for two. And I'm thinking, oh, Avoya, California. Now I know better, but I'm thinking, oh, I hope he lives in California because what an easy way to get to Tahiti. No, he actually lives about 25 minutes from me here in Ohio, which is crazy. It's crazy. I should have gone and knocked on his door and said, hey, you won.
That's so funny. Well, congratulations to Andrew, and thanks to Windstar for putting on that great competition. And really nice of you to recognize great travel advisors like Andrew again. You guys, Windstar, I always think of you as such an iconic brand when I think about the various cruise brands that are out there, very diverse. How would you describe what makes Windstar unique and what really makes you stand out in this industry?
I think every cruise line has something very special to offer. What I think we from Windstar have to offer, we're a very casual luxury brand. So we have a very high return rate. And I think it's because when you come on board our ships, it's not Mr. and Mrs. Jones. It's, Diana and Chris. Hi, Diana. Hi, Chris. And our crew is absolutely amazing. Our crew is fantastic. Many of the Avoya advisors have sailed with us in the past, and I'm sure they would share their same experience. It feels like you're coming home. There's something very, very special once you're on board a Windstar ship that you really, it's a culture. It's a cult. No, I'm kidding. It's a culture, and it makes everybody want to come back year after year after year. So it's very special. And I also think the places that we go. Now, we go places that a lot of other cruise lines do as well, but we've been there for years. We have relationships, not just in the destinations we go, but we've worked with, for example, in Tahiti, we've worked with the same families in Tahiti for almost 40 years. And to watch these families that we worked with as young parents that are now grandparents, and now we're working with their grandchildren, there's something really magical and special about that.
Yeah, pretty special for sure. Hard to believe that here we are halfway through 2025 already. How would you describe the first half of the year for Windstar? And what are some of the bright spots you're looking forward to as we move into the second half of the year and, of course 2026 and 2027?
So I have spent a lot of time looking back at what's happened so far to us in 2025. And just to give you my personal vision, this is not a corporate vision, but my vision on what happened. So 2025 started out strong for every single cruise line, for every single company out there. In fact, we turned the year at almost 15% higher than what we normally do within the year. So that obviously has some impact. Then, of course, our government changes. Then we went on this little roller coaster up and down and up and down. And are we up or are we down? And it really depended on what agency you were talking to, what week of who was up and down. I think that towards the end of April, we became, we actually went on a steady path again. But I think it's really important for everyone on this call to know is that what we're finding is the short-term bookings, the bookings now for 2025 are really breaking records. We're booking a lot in the year for the year. At this point, we normally would be focusing on the Mediterranean or Europe in 2026. As a company, that's what we do. We're finding that we're still focusing on 2025 because people are still booking it. So I'd say this year is a year of change for sure.
Very interesting stuff and a great take on the year so far. What about a tip or two that might help those viewing our program sell more Windstar cruises? Because I always think that the connection between vendors and the frontline travel advisors are such a vital relationship. Would you agree with that?
I absolutely do. You know, I, you know, I think that the relationship that your travel advisors have with their clients are exactly what we have with the travel advisors. It's all about relationships and it's all about knowing what your guests want. We're not for everyone. Windstar is absolutely not for everyone. But Windstar is for more people than you're actually putting us on, putting on board with us now. And it's really getting to know your product, getting to know your customers, and then matching the two. I would say, if I had a hint or something to suggest right now for everyone is put your clients into buckets. Who are the people that have anniversaries and special events this year that normally go on, like, just the mass market sailings? Guess what? They've got something special that they're looking to do this year. So don't put them in the bucket that they're always going to be mass market. This is an opportunity for you to now up level your guests into something that's going to be easier for you to sell and also be able to make you more money, give you bigger paychecks. Look for the people that, are loyal, look for the people that aren't loyal, and then look for, make sure that you're not just talking to your guests about this particular trip that they want to do, but what's your vision for the next 2 years when you're looking to travel? Because a lot of times you can combine all of those into one trip, or you can make really valuable suggestions, which will make you more valuable to the client as well.
Diana Rom, Vice President of Sales for Windstar Cruises, is our featured guest this month. We're on deck with Avoya. From selling worms when you were just a little one to selling luxury cruises now, what do you think makes somebody great at sales?
Which, I'm sorry, I missed that question. What makes someone great at sales?
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think? Some qualities, some traits that just make somebody just always kind of percolate to the top in a sales environment?
It's believing what you sell. It's believing what you're representing. And if you are believable because you believe in your product, people will believe and trust in you as well.
Yeah, it really goes right from I've got the best worms, and the reason for that is they catch more fish, to this is
Yep.
the best cruise line because this really matches up with the needs that you're looking to explore. I mean, it really does come down to that, doesn't it?
I had the cleanest worms out there. That's all I'm going to say. So.
At Avoya Travel, we're certainly proud of our great relationship with Windstar. And I was wondering how Windstar views the importance of relationships and partnerships, because it's a word that always seems to come up time and time again when I'm talking to people in your role at the various companies in this industry. Relationships are just so important to travel still.
They are, and it works two ways. Number one, we would not be successful at Windstar without our relationship with our travel advisors, and more importantly, our relationship with Avoya. If I had to go back about when we started working with the trade, Avoya was our top partner at the time. Avoya helped us to understand what partnership was all about. And I think that, when it comes to the other side, for you, the travel advisor, having connections that that you can just pick up the phone and call whenever there's an issue, or when you want something special, or when you have a question that you can't answer, it's really important to know the person that you're talking to. It's really important to have that relationship. That's why these events with face-to-face time, we've got Travel Leaders Edge coming up very soon. I'm hoping to meet and see a lot of the Avoya travel advisors there. But these events are really, really important for travel advisors to invest their time, because I know that we as partners are investing our time.
Absolutely. What about you personally? Where's one spot in this great world that you think everybody should visit at least once in their life? And kind of as a follow up to that, is there a place still on your must see list that you just hope to explore one day?
Yes, I will tell you, and I would probably get in very big trouble from the president of our cruise line, Christopher Prelog, if I did not mention this place. But Tahiti is a place that you should absolutely go. Now, he happens to be there now, but it's also his favorite place in the whole wide world. But I will tell you what is special about Tahiti is it is really, truly untouched beauty. If you have not been to Tahiti, it should be on your bucket list. I mean, the waters there, yes, they're beautiful blues, but the flora and the fauna, and it's literally like you're in an aquarium, and you're in a place that's, I don't know, 50 years behind what we could even imagine. So that is definitely something you should put on your bucket list. And I will remind you, it's not as far as people think it is. You're all selling Hawaii. You've probably been to Hawaii. It's literally 2 movies and a drink past Hawaii. So come on, everybody can do that. But anyway, it's not even 2 movies. It's like a movie and a half. What is on my bucket list? So I like to read historical romances, and it's, because I know the end, I know the beginning. I could just lose myself in those books. But I love Northern Europe. I just think everything about it is fabulous. I've been here before, but it's still on my bucket list to go back. We do a sailing called the Gaelic Explorers, which you go to the Isle of Man and the Isle of Skye and Scotland and Ireland and all those little teeny places up there in Northern Europe. I would love to do that again. I enjoyed it so much, but it's been a good, I don't know, 6 years since I've been there. As far as new places, I don't have a new place that oh, that's not true. I want to go to Bangkok because I hear they have really good fake purses. But that's my only reason.
There's all
Other than,
sorts of reasons to want to travel, so that's not a bad one.
I know that's mine, and I hear they make custom clothing, so I love it all.
Perfect. Hey, before we wrap up our discussion today, I wanted to give you an open forum to come up, talk about anything that's vital to you, things going on with Windstar, just anything that our conversation hasn't covered yet today.
Absolutely. Well, I think probably more important than anything is if you are not aware, we have two brand new ships that will be coming out. We have the Star Seeker, which will be launching in actually the official launch is January 14th, I believe, of 2026. But we do start sailing in late January. In fact, I believe we have a spot for someone from Avoya already, being held for that inaugural. It's not really the inaugural sailing; it's kind of a shakedown sailing, but that's an important one. And then we have the Explorer. The Explorer, here's a little secret for you. This is a little heads up information, and hopefully this doesn't get told before I'm supposed to. But we will be coming out with the Explorer itineraries on June 11th. So it will be coming out to our partners, our Club 180 partners, which Avoya is part of, and then we will be announcing it to the general public on June 28th. So this is a great heads up for you because I will tell you the Seeker sold out on many of the itineraries within the first 30 days. So little secret, go tell your peeps.
Awesome. One last question before we wrap up. When you look into the future, what are some reasons that you might be really bullish and excited about the future of cruising and leisure travel in general?
I think that, well, there's two things. I mean, one, I think that the future for travel advisors is very, very, very strong. I do think that now, it used to be when I would talk to people, they would say, oh, why would I use a travel agent? I'll just call you directly. Now people will say, do you have a travel advisor that you recommend? So people are definitely seeing what the value is. I think that cruising has opened up the world to many people. It's opened up dreams, it's opened up bucket lists for people. And I think that everyone or a majority of people have the idea of when I retire, when I'm celebrating, when I do this, this, and this, I'm going to go on a cruise because it allows you, especially a small ship cruise, it allows you to immerse in a culture. It's not about just getting on and getting off and sitting at a beach. It's about really exploring a new destination. And I think that's what the world is ready for now.
Diana Rome, everyone, Vice President of Sales for Windstar Cruises. Diana, thank you so much for your time and that wonderful conversation.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely. Stay tuned. We've got more On Deck with Avoya coming up in just a moment, right after this message.
Hi, everyone. My name is Gina Hoyt, Senior Director of Avoya Travel Academy. I've spent more than 25 years in the travel industry, and I know firsthand how exciting and overwhelming it can be to get started. That's why I'm so passionate about the Travel Agent Education Certification Program. The program was designed to give you everything I wish I had when I started: real world tools, expert guidance, and a clear path forward. Whether you're brand new to the industry or looking to make a career shift, we're here to help you build a strong foundation, avoid common pitfalls, and feel confident every step of the way. Let's review some key advantages of the Travel Agent Education Certification Program found in Avoya Travel Academy. We offer a comprehensive curriculum. This program features over 125 lessons covering travel industry basics, supplier relationships, business strategies, different types of leisure travel, geography, marketing, plus a whole lot more. We offer flexible learning formats. So we offer lessons in both audio and written format, as well as video content for some of our lessons. And what we're hoping to do is really cater to all the different types of learning styles so people can really absorb the information that they're learning. Industry recognition. Let's touch on that. Our program is actually acknowledged by two major organizations within the travel industry, CLIA and ASTA, and the program has also earned a Travel Weekly Magellan Award. We have proven success metrics. Our graduates have a 50% higher closing rate and are earning 50% more commission when compared to peers who have no foundational education. Industry experience. This course was developed by industry veterans with well over 125 years of combined experience, ensuring practical and relevant insights. We also, the positive feedback from our participants. You can view those feedback comments on our website. Uh, People are highlighting the program's value as well as the quality of the education. So, if you're seeking a structured, reputable, and comprehensive educational foundation, the Academy's Travel Agent Education Certification course offers an award-winning, robust program that combines industry recognition, practical training, and support, setting it apart from other entry-level options. We look forward to seeing you soon in the Academy.
Hi, everyone. It's Laura Burke, Director of Promotional Operations and Development here at Avoya Travel. Welcome to another Secrets to Success tip, and welcome to June. Maybe at this point of the year, you've noticed that business has slowed down a little. No worries. We've actually entered the travel season where most of your bookings are traveling at this point in the year. So if your lead pool seems to have dried up, don't forget about your booked customers. This is actually a great time to develop your repeat clients and your referral systems. And we are talking about the simplest, most powerful way to grow your business. So this is a lot about working smarter and not harder. So let's talk about a few tips to success to keep in mind. First and foremost, you want to exceed expectations every time. Consistency is the key, and you want to make sure to ensure every client experience. Every single client has the same experience from the initial inquiry to post-trip follow-up, and you want to make sure that's seamless, that they enjoy it, that they engage with you, and most importantly, that it exceeds their expectation. This is what builds trust and actually encourages them to book again with you. Next, don't forget to nurture your network. Your past clients are your most valuable asset, so don't disappear after the booking. Thoughtful and personalized follow-ups will keep you relevant and remembered. And things like a simple welcome home message or an email sharing curated content based on their travel experiences, or even a holiday greeting card is going to remind them that you're still there for them and ready to plan and create their next awesome adventure. This one is a personal favorite of mine from being a former agency owner, and that one is to ask for the referral. Because if you are confident that you have delivered on your promise and their experience from start to finish, don't be shy. Go ahead and ask for that referral. So when a client expresses that satisfaction, it really is the perfect time to say, I'm so glad you enjoyed your trip. If you know anyone else that might benefit from my travel planning and my experience, I'd be grateful for an introduction and that referral. You can make it a natural part of your process. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you're the expert. Be a knowledge hub of all things travel. Position yourself to be that go-to expert by sharing valuable travel insights, travel destination updates, and even insider tips. It's not just about the bookings. It's about enriching the entire experience. And this establishes your authority and makes clients make clients see you as the invaluable resource that they'll return to every time. So I encourage you to focus on these simple systems, and you'll build a powerful cycle of loyalty and benefit from that word of mouth growth and success. I'm going to catch you the next time around, but as always, wishing you the best in success. Take care.
Explore America's national parks by train with Amtrak Vacations. Offering some of the world's most stunning landscapes, you'll be taken directly by train into the heart of national parks like the Grand Canyon and Glacier National Park. Amtrak Vacations lets you travel in comfort while skipping the hassle of airports, driving, and long entry lines. Avoid the crowds and enjoy staying in or near these beloved parks. Whether you're planning to visit a single park or embark on a cross-country adventure through multiple destinations, Amtrak Vacations will help you book the journey of a lifetime. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the beauty of America's treasured landscapes and discover America's national parks by train with Amtrak Vacations. Call or click to book your bucket list trip today.
Hello, it's Brando Quinn from Brando's Fun and Sun Travel, an independent affiliate of Avoya Travel. Been affiliated with Avoya Travel now for going on 13 years, I believe. 2012 is when I actually started, but I affiliated with them about a year later, about 2013. So here we are in 2025. My agency's booking well over $1 million plus a year, and I couldn't do it without all the support and staff that Avoya Travel gives every agent to make sure that they can succeed in the travel business. Lately, I've had a lot of customers that are going down into Cancun, Mexico, all inclusives. Also have a lot of Hawaii vacations, and of course, are cruisers. I would say probably 70% of my business is cruisers. So I've got cruisers going out in the Caribbean. The Mediterranean was really popular this year. Alaska's always popular and certainly increased since COVID. I would say 25 to 30% easily. I know I go to a lot of industry events by those that are promoted by Avoya Travel itself, and then also those that are promoted by organizations such as ASTA, CLIA organizations. I've done a Cruise 360s out in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, which is great because you can do a lot of ship inspections and kind of get those knocked out for the CLIA requirements. Also ASTA organizations, they have a really fine ASTA organization here in Phoenix, Arizona area, and they always put on a wonderful event every year. And then of course Avoya Travel, they've constantly got land events. This year I think we're going on a cruise for the upcoming conference in October, and lots of really good changes being made in Avoya Travel. I take advantage of all of the producers or the products training, as well as the Avoya Travel webinars, because I feel that they help to elevate my understanding of products and get a better experience. I personally traveled through let's see, I just got back from Australia, New Zealand, and Fiji. So that was my 62, 63, 64th foreign country. I've been on 50 plus cruises. I love cruising. I love to see the world that way, see different ports. Done the Seven River journey on AMA Waterways and did Seven Rivers last year, and that was fantastic. And my next adventure is I'm getting ready to climb Mount Everest. Kind of my icing of the cake because I've done all 7 continents now. So I'm going to be climbing up Mount Everest next April. So I've been walking around with a 50-pound pack on my back everywhere I go, getting ready for that ascent. Just climbing up to the base camp. I think it's 17,400 feet. And before doing that, I'll be touring through India for about 10 days and then head over to Kathmandu and Nepal and make that journey up Mount Everest. Anyway, Avoya Travel is a really great network. Like I said, I've been with them for going on 13 years. It was the best decision I ever made. So if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me and contact me. Thank you, Chris Green, for asking me to come and be part of your show. Chris was instrumental in signing me up about 13 years ago when I met him at a Las Vegas conference. So anyway, good luck with your agencies and hope everything works out for you.
Thinking about your next move after the military? Joining the travel industry post-service is a great option for both veterans and veteran spouses. Whether you're looking to master your second act or take the next step on your professional path, why not do it as your own boss while seeing the world?
Hello and welcome back to this month's episode of On Deck with Avoya. I'm your host, Chris Green, Director of Network Expansion. And we're so excited for this segment because I really love putting the spotlight on my amazing coworkers at Avoya Travel and the great things they do to help those in the Avoya Network sell more travel and achieve their dreams. And this week, we're so excited to welcome back to On Deck with Avoya, longtime friend, past guest of our program, Vice President of Marketing for Avoya Travel, my good friend, Andy Craig. Andy, great to have you back on Deck with Avoya.
Thanks, Chris. Happy to be here. Good to see you again.
You as well. Andy, before we get too far into our chat, maybe give us a quick background for those who haven't seen your past appearances, your background with Avoya Travel, and how you came to be the Vice President of Marketing.
Definitely jump right into it. So I've been here almost 13 and a half years now. It was actually my first job out of college, so grown inside the organization quite a bit, held a lot of different roles over the years on the marketing team. It's given me a deep understanding of how all of our different marketing channels work together to drive results and impact for the business. You know, I was fortunate, as you said, to be promoted to Vice President of Marketing last year, and in this role, I now oversee both our consumer demand generation, so driving leads, but also the team that fuels our network demand generation. So 2 teams in one now, which focuses on growing and supporting the network with those live leads for travel advisors. It's been an exciting time to really shape the strategies for both those sides of the business that drive results for the whole organization.
I mean, it's hard to believe here we are, the middle of 2025 already, but give us a quick update on all things Avoya marketing as we kind of stand here halfway at 2025.
Yeah, I can't believe it's going to be June already this weekend. It's wild. Hard to believe that we're halfway through the year, almost there. Our biggest win this year has really been the continued success of our direct mail efforts. We went from little direct mail in 2024 to a significant portion of our overall budget being invested into direct mail this year. It's been a really powerful tool from both an engagement and lead generation standpoint for us. So we're really excited about the continued efforts on direct mail. Another kind of standout for us has really been the river cruise category as a whole this year has been an incredible opportunity for both travelers and our network. So we've seen a lot of success through the river cruise category through different partners of driving leads, but also the network claiming and closing those leads at a very, very high rate. This year we've been really focused on optimizing channels that have performed well for us in the past, but also balancing finding a variety of new partners to look towards the future, all with driving strong, high quality leads for the Avoya network. that we, to be transparent, we have had a challenge. I'm sure that everyone in the travel industry has kind of seen for the last couple of months now. It's a little bit softer on the conversion side than we anticipated. December was awesome. January started out well, but it has slowed down a little bit. But in the last couple of weeks, this has turned around, and we've started to see things really pick back up, which is great. So we're actively working on new programs to really enhance and improve the lead quality that we can drive out to the network and really maximize our efforts for those leads that we're driving out to the Avoya Independent Network.
Andy, let's talk for a second about one of the big buzzwords. I mean, in life, you can't turn around and not hear the word artificial intelligence these days. I was wondering, from your vantage point, how does artificial intelligence impact marketing?
It tremendously. It's definitely a hot topic, and we're very, very strong supporters of AI with the right guardrails in place. There's definitely got to be some guardrails in place, but we always kind of joke internally that it's our. Let me ask our employee ChatGPT real quick, but we're big supporters of it. It's become a really helpful tool for things like content development, brainstorming campaign ideas, and even analyzing data. The key is what you get out of it is what you put into it. So we spend a lot of time, honing in how we prompt AI tools to really maximize the output. Where we found a lot of value is in the speed and efficiency that AI brings, and giving us a new kind of fresh perspective of bouncing ideas off it. It can really bring ideas, that we might not have been thinking about to try on our own. It's not about replacing kind of the creativity and the strategy of the team, but really enhancing their ability to kind of move faster and work smarter. So we're big proponents of it, like I said, but with the right guardrails in place.
I really love that. Yeah, because it's all about the input in order to get the right input out, I would assume.
100%.
Yeah. Avoya Travel has such a well-rounded marketing program, and you kind of touched on this a few moments ago, but it both focuses on Avoya Travel actively marketing for new clients for our Live Lead program for those that are in the Avoya network, as well as helping out our network of advisors, as well as providing assets for those in the Avoya Travel network to be able to market themselves towards their clients. Can you help us understand a little bit how those various marketing programs through Avoya Travel work?
Definitely. That was what I mentioned kind of up front. So in the last year, we made a strategic decision to unify our consumer and our network marketing teams. They used to be two very different teams, but we brought them together to really gain efficiencies and ultimately create more impact across the board. So our approach now is, not just focused on generating leads through the Avoya network through our own live lead program, but we're also actively marketing to prospective affiliates to grow our network. So two teams that used to be two teams is now one team. So we're gaining efficiencies. We're getting smarter about, this team is buying media from X, Y, and Z for this partner, et cetera. So we've really, stepped back to drive innovation in terms of how we structure our organization. But at the end of the day, we're really interested in providing those robust tools and resources to help existing advisors market to their own clients. So what really sets Avoya apart is our hybrid model. We offer the high quality leads through our technology, but also we have incredible commission programs that reward advisors through, booking their own personal clients. So we're doing as much as we can to help both sides of the business for agents that are looking to grow their own business with robust tools that we're building, but also, feeding the network with those live leads that we're generating from Avoya's behalf as well. So there's truly something for everyone. And this year we're continuing to expand initiatives like our Elite 100 program, which focuses on attracting those experienced agents who are ready to kind of grow their own business. And we understand that we're not just trying to be a one size fits all. We have different programs in place for each respective independent advisor.
Andy, one of the goals of On Deck with Avoya is to always try to provide a tip or an idea that maybe somebody can implement that can really simply help them grow their business. So I was wondering if maybe you could help provide a tip that someone that's new to our industry, maybe new to the network, could implement when it comes to marketing that can just help make their whole marketing, strategy stronger.
Definitely. And I think this is something that we use inside the organization as well, is to start small and be consistent. Too often we see the team trying to chase that shiny new object, or trying something one time, and they don't necessarily see the results. They're sending a single email or a direct mail piece and say, "Hey, it didn't work." But you can't just give up, and you need to understand the long-term play from a marketing standpoint. It takes repetition and follow through. I also, as an independent advisor and just a small business owner, I think the biggest thing is to be your own biggest brand advocate. Tell your story everywhere on social media, in conversations, in follow ups. And don't be afraid to ask for referrals. Word of mouth is an incredibly powerful tool in this industry. And the more people that know what you offer, the more likely they are to send your business your way. So just kind of wrap it up or summarize it there. Start small, be consistent, and be your biggest brand advocate or your biggest brand champion out there.
Good stuff. Andy Craig, Vice President of Marketing for Avoya Travel, is our featured guest for On Deck with Avoya. Andy, do you think it's fair to say that Avoya Travel helps simplify marketing and the ways to implement it for those that are in the Avoya network as part of what we do?
Definitely, I think it is fair to say that we are doing our best to help simplify marketing, but I also think it's important to recognize, like I said earlier, that each advisor owns and operates their own business. So while we work hard to provide the tools that are easy to access and implement, we also understand that one size does not fit all. So our goal is to really provide the strong foundation, whether that's through the customizable assets in our own marketing resource center, automated campaigns that we're doing on your behalf if you opt into it as part of the Avoya Network, or co-branded email marketing. We're trying to give give the Avoya advisors flexibility to market in a way that fits their business. But what I'm really excited about is looking ahead to the second half of this year. We're excited to roll out even more tools and solutions to help advisors stay ahead of that curve. With not sharing too much, but direct mail is going to be a part of that strategy as we move forward, which we haven't offered in the past, which we're really excited about, kind of building a foundation to be able to support independent agencies' needs from a direct mail standpoint. So really excited about that as we look forward to the second half of the year. But ultimately, we're trying to strike that balance of simplicity, but also innovate. We're focusing on continued support of our network in the most impactful ways for their business as possible.
I mean, that's the one thing you can say about Avoya Travel. And you look at our 60 plus year history, we are very innovative and always looking out the windshield pointed forward. So I think, some great things coming up. Andy, just a couple more before we wrap up today. Any great trips you've had the chance to take recently? And what about one spot you think everybody has to visit at least once in their life?
Definitely. I was fortunate to experience the brand new Norwegian Aqua last month on the inaugural, and that was an incredible trip. The ship is beautiful. It's modern. It's got a premium feel, incredible onboard experiences. That water slide, water coaster, I guess they call it at sea. Got to visit their private island. So that ship I'm all about. I love that ship. And then also the timing of this is great because I'm actually headed out on Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas West Coast inaugural on Saturday, and really blessed to be able to bring my whole family on that one. So we were able to get a quad cabin, get to bring the kiddos with me. So really excited about heading out on the Ovation of the Seas West Coast inaugural on Saturday. As for destinations, I always recommend Barcelona is always high on my list. The food, the culture, the history, the architecture. It's such a vibrant and walkable city. So I really love Barcelona, and it definitely checks all the boxes because it's an incredible pre and post cruise destination with tons of itineraries sailing in and out of it too.
Andy, a few years ago, we were talking and you talked about how in the near future, you're going to be able to see vacation through your kids' eyes. So must be kind of exciting that those moments are starting to happen for you.
Definitely, they got to experience their first cruise in the fall of last year, and my daughter has been itching to go again. And she actually graduates on Friday, and we kept this as a surprise from her all the way until I think Tuesday night. We told her that we're going on another one, so she's so thrilled and has already packed her bags and can't wait to go on Saturday.
How exciting. Hey, before we wrap up, anything you want to make sure that we touch on today, marketing or travel industry or something that just hasn't come up in our conversation yet?
Uh, just want to say how excited I am about where Avoya is headed. This is such a great place to affiliate your business between the high quality leads, our commitment to marketing innovation, the incredible support structure we offer. There's just so much opportunity here. So truly invested in the success of every advisor in the network, and I'm proud to work with our teams every day to make that happen.
Andy, one last question, but from your perspective as the vice president of marketing for Avoya Travel and the people that you interact with and the meetings that you're in, give us your thoughts and insight on the near-term future for leisure travel.
I'm really optimistic about the near-term future of leisure travel. We're continuing to see strong demand the last couple of weeks. April was a little bit of a blimp on the map for us from a strategic standpoint and a planning perspective, but May is shaping up nicely. And what's even more encouraging is the feedback we're hearing from the travelers. They're loving the experiences they're having. They're rating the network extremely high from a net promoter score standpoint. Those continue to be off the charts, which speaks volumes for what the Avoya network is doing for those experiences that they're planning those vacations with those travelers. So I'm definitely optimistic. We have momentum. There are some incredible new ships that we all got to cumulatively fill together that are launching over the next couple of years, and they're generating a ton of excitement and demand. So as marketers, our job is to really keep that energy going and connect the right travelers to those opportunities. And I think the back half of this year and into 2026 is going to be incredibly strong. So really optimistic and excited about what the rest of the year has to offer.
Great stuff. Andy Craig, everyone, Vice President of Marketing for Avoya Travel. Andy, thanks so much for your time and that great conversation and for your continued support of On Deck with Avoya.
Anytime, Chris. Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
Absolutely. More On Deck with Avoya coming up right after these messages. We'll be right back. Well, hello and welcome back to this month's episode of On Deck with Avoya. I'm Chris Green, Director of Network Expansion, your host, and time to wrap up our program. We certainly appreciate your time today. Hope you got a lot out of that fantastic show. Wonderful conversation with Diane Rom from Windstar Cruises. Hope you learned a lot there about sales and about that iconic brand. Of course, we had a great conversation with Andy Craig about marketing. Gina Hoyt with that fantastic educational minute. We've got more of that coming up for you next month in July, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Always, AvoyaNetwork.com and the Avoya Travel Academy.com are your places to go to get more information about being part of Avoya Travel. If you're brand new to the industry, you're going to need an educational foundation. We highly recommend the Avoya Travel Academy. Again, AvoyaTravelAcademy.com. Reach out, find out a little bit about the program. It's amazing. The people coming out of that program are selling like crazy. If you've got some experience, AvoyaNetwork.com. Get in touch with somebody on my team. We can certainly try to put together something and have you as an affiliate in the Avoya Network. Give us a follow at Avoya Network on all the social medias. A reminder that we do have a military and first responders discount. My team and the Avoya Travel Academy team certainly happy to tell you all about that. Until next month, July 2025, take care, my friend.